Alright, so why do you think you lost the game?
I don't know, not enough team coordination. I didn't really like util usage. It was alright. Could have been better. Um, my comms weren't that good. Could have calm more.
Okay, okay. So, you say coordination.
Yeah,
How many times in that game do you think you made a pre-round comm?
none.
None? So, round one, we're going into pistols. You played C every single round except one round, and you were playing water. So,
Yup.
the first
Yup.
thing that I'd like to tell you is that on Omen, especially, you almost always want to play around A or on A.
Mhm.
Because what's the most common thing that people like to do for whatever godforsaken reason on Lotus? They like to fight out rubble.
Mhm.
And with your kit having TPs, two smokes, and a blind, not only when you close off the distance, your smokes drop quicker, but you also have a blind that's really common. That's really, really good. So where does the Omen play most times? They play right
B-Link.
here. Yeah, they either play B Link or they play Tree, or you'll see like they blind out then TP top rubble. These are all very
Mhm.
viable strats. And like C on pistols, C and B retake easy enough most of the time. I remember telling you this at least once before. Don't smoke the choke on a retake. No. No, you only have one smoke. You pretty much only have one smoke for this entire post plant.
Yeah, they're playing.
So like, how do you get the most value out of it? You want to what's the word I'm looking for? You want to isolate fights as much as you can. You want to be able to funnel your
Mhm.
team out into a spot of the map to be able to retake it well. So how do you do that? You
I'm
dice up
blinding back.
you dice up the site and you take. I remember saying this on your Haven VOD review. You dice up the site and you take a little bit of site one at a time.
Mhm. Okay.
So obviously when you're in retake mode, you're like, oh my god, we have to take the entire site in one fell swoop. So I'm gonna smoke off the choke and we just go. That's probably
Mhm.
not what you're thinking, but that's like um it's like built into us. Like we have to retake the whole site. So
Mhm.
you can retake the whole site, but like even a smoke like this, like right here, that lets you guys funnel out this way, is really good because it lets you
Mhm.
focus on these guys first. Then you can focus on these guys, and for however long that takes, you might have another smoke to then smoke off the choke when you already have 3/4 of the site.
Mhm.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when you smoke off the choke on a retake, you're biting off a little bit more than what you can chew. You're a solo controller, so what does that mean? You have to know the value of your life is massive.
Mhm.
So you have to know the value of your life, and and you have to and you have to play according to your value. So when barriers drop, when barriers drop right here, um, you let's say you get the kill. The impact that that gives your team throughout the rest of the round does not outweigh the impact your death gives to the enemy team throughout the course of the round.
Mhm.
You get more value just by staying alive, being able to have
Mhm.
a utility for your team to play off of than you getting a single kill when the barriers drop.
Mhm.
So you getting the kill and barriers drop doesn't change the outcome of a round as much as you being a first blood. Okay, then round 7 I asked why do they keep slamming A? They win A again. Round 8 they win A
They went A.
again. Round 9, guess where they win?
Hey!
They win A. So round 9.
Nothing on C.
So
Why
this
am
is
I
what
shift walking?
Shadows traveling.
so this is what I want to say. This not a good retake smoke. Can I ask you why? Why do you why do you think why do I think that that is not a good retake smoke?
Because if there's someone walking upstairs, they don't have info on the site.
You're halfway there. I like your thinking. You're halfway there. So why is this a bad retake smoke? There's a few reasons. So one, instead of just throwing this default one, if you wanted to retake from stairs, you're protected from anyone playing post plant out here or right here. You're protected from that. Two,
Mhm.
you can have info on site, like you said earlier. You can take fights here. But the
Mhm.
biggest reason why this is a bad smoke is because for the people playing right here, and for the people, I'm just gonna do this, for the people playing in this area, they have a free fight on you, and you only have a sheriff, and they have rifles.
Mhm.
That is why this is no bueno. Another
Mhm.
reason why, because the most common plant spots are like here and here. This smoke
Both
is
of them can be
incredibly
spammed.
close for people to spam it or to just swing out of it and get free value.
Mhm.
So 9 times out of 10, this is not a great smoke. Round 10, another retake scenario. If I remember correctly, it's on C. Yes, it is.
All three.
Stopped.
So
One lurk.
that was a great kill. That was a great kill. I really like that.
I'm
that was
ulting
smart.
Ben for info.
This is good too.
All three. Staring at a wall though.
So before you go into full retake mode here, make sure that you, as the controller, do your best to set your team up for success before you take another fight. So
I'm gonna
going into
blind.
this almost makes sense. Why doesn't it not completely make sense?
Because it's like trying to isolate the what do you call it? Wait. Because only one person is there, or well, technically two people are there to get value out of the blind because Fade's all the way still back in spawn and Tejo's nowhere close.
Yeah, exactly. It's really difficult to get value off of this. So you almost have this backwards. First, I'd smoke off somewhere.
The cross.
You could like smoke off the cross right here. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, pretty much smoking off the cross is your best bet here. And then you just scale up this way
Mhm.
with your Phoenix to take the rest of backside so your Fade can get out.
Mhm.
Because she can't take this alone because if she's worth her salt, she knows she won't get traded because she's not in a
Mhm.
tradable position in CT. So you smoke this off, you scale up this way, then the blind makes sense into bend. And then you're 5 seconds away from another smoke. Once you get all that done, look at that. You have another smoke for the choke and you have all site control.
Mhm.
So, and then that would have been a round conversion. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I think your
Planning.
Tejo clutched it. Didn't your Tejo clutch it?
Yeah.
Gracias.
That was another
Tejo
round.
and Fade.
Okay, this is what I want to talk about.
They're wrestling.
So, we don't have a whole lot of info right here.
Mhm.
We don't have a whole lot of info right here. And you are wanting to go this way.
Mhm.
Which is why you're pathing into Link. You have your Phoenix there to fight with you. And let's see what you do here. You smoke off your only lifeline. And now you're breaking wall. You get the kill. And now you have to push through a smoke blind.
Stealing sight.
Sage 120.
Sorry, that wall is just really funny.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
This is a good
Careful,
clutch.
guards ready.
Here.
But like, imagine if you had your Phoenix alive with you, man.
Yeah. Would have been so much easier.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a clutch. No, I am a connoisseur of clutching, but not if you can help it.
Kill it.
Okay, next round. Next round. Yeah, this is winning.
120. I don't
Okay.
know why I spoke then.
So 90% of the time, there's no good reason for anyone to be ADSing.
Mhm.
So when you ADS, do you know what you lose when you ADS?
You lose firing rate.
So there's seldom do you ever need to be ADSing. So like
Still?
you also have to think about it like this. When you ADS, you get magnified. You get a 1.25 times magnifier.
Damn.
So when the screen is more zoomed in, you have to move your mouse a longer distance to cover more ground with your crosshair.
Mhm.
So
I
virtually, relatively, it's turning your sense down unless you already changed your ADS sensitivity in your
the
settings.
nightmare.
I don't know if you have,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but most people
Nah.
don't touch that.
Cover going
So
out.
like they use the same sense, but relatively, your sense gets turned down because you have to cover more area. So like that
I think
happens.
my thought process there was, oh, he's probably gonna play in that same spot again, and then he didn't.
Cover going
Yeah.
And then I got caught off guard, so I ADS'd.
Yeah, see what I mean, man? When people change positions and do stuff differently, look what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I still
Yeah.
don't know why.
you would have
But
won that
I'm like,
fight if you weren't ADSing.
yeah. 120. I'm 120. Nice.
No, this is
Oh yeah, I
criminal.
got
This is
fuck.
criminal.
I hit
Oh,
him with
she's still there. One.
Yeah, so you sprayed it. Sure.
I was like, slow walk
Round
then.
before we go to it.
Yeah.
But like this is just
Hang on, Tejo.
like she's already been there once. Like at this point, like every time we're going C, I just ask for a piece of utility to
Flash
clear it.
out.
Like even the Tejo did it once, where he dropped one of his rockets on. it.
Sage B.
Nice.
Shadow.
I hit
Oh,
him with
she's still.
Yeah, like just drop another. Just like ask for utility.
Yeah.
So round
She's
9.
still there.
Round 19. This is what I tell everybody. When you have your gun up, you have to be ready to take a fight here. And I can just tell that like you're gonna get caught with your pants pulled down. Do you know how I can tell?
Ow. Shift walk P. Oh, okay, nice crosshair placement.
There you go. There you go. You're clearing stuff, but you're not actually ready for anyone to be there. That's it. That's it. It's the crosshair placement. You're not actively thinking about taking a fight, getting ready to take a fight. You're just clearing it to clear it.
Mhm.
Then if someone were there and you died, you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
What the flip, man?
No, exactly. So whenever you have your gun out, you have to 100% be ready to take a fight. When you have your knife out, you can do whatever. But when you have your gun out, you have to have your crosshair in a good spot, and you have to be ready to take a fight. All right, bro. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns?
I don't know. Like, what drills do you suggest for like crosshair placement? Just like drilling in death matches.
Yeah, crosshair placement drills it's just pretty much just playing the fuck out of deathmatch. There's not
Yeah.
necessarily drills for crosshair placement other than playing the game and learning the maps and just
Mhm.
really focusing on having it because you can't just build it into your muscle memory. You always have to be thinking about it.
Mhm.
So whenever you have your gun out, you just have to have it in a good spot. That's just how it is. And you just do
Mhm.
that by repetition. And repetition equals legitimacy.
Mm.
You picking up what I'm putting down, Sean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Anything else?
Nah, not really.
Alright, bro. So you know what this means now?
Yeah.
You get Kovacs, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, Sean. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you.
Of course.